You want to start?
Hi, I'm Tyler Johnston, Johnston Realty,
And I'm Brandi Sorensen with Johnston Realty and ConverseCountyHome.com.
and this is your Converse County market update for the week of January
12th.
12th. Oh, God, we're already halfway through January.
I know. It's so crazy. The this year is already flying by.
Yeah, I mean, well, we took time off after
For
Christmas
the
and New
holidays.
Year, and last week was just too busy, and there was too much stuff going on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
We're back to wrestling season and real estate has been really busy.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was sitting and I was like, we kept saying holidays, it's when it's time to sell is time to sell. That's and
Why?
then all of you, all of a sudden, you've got two transactions going. Sarah had two transactions. Talia's listing went under contract. Devin got a listing. I got an offer on some land and cat. It was just like all of a sudden, and I was like,
Yeah. And they just decided like this was the time, was during the holidays.
yeah. And
It's okay.
the one offer Sarah had, they were like, can we close early?
Yeah.
It was just like, okay.
Yeah.
So it's just,
Because I had one go on and back, like off before we went back to school, like after the holiday before we went back to school
yeah.
with the open house and everything.
And it just shows I'm a believer. Open houses, I mean, I'm a new believer. Open houses work. I mean, it's you and Jody have both had great success with open houses.
And they're not always, but it's just like anything else. I just think that it's another avenue
Hmm.
that you need to, because there are going to be people that are not necessarily looking on Zillow or working actively with a real estate agent, but if that house comes up, they'll go take a look. And if it's the right one, then they will make the market. But they don't want to call a realtor or they don't want to, and that's happened to me multiple times.
Well, and I think that's just where it gets to different personalities of agents.
Yeah.
Some agents, I was talking with a gal, Candace was having some blood work done, and she's like, your dad sold us our house. I was like, oh, really? She said, yeah, 25 years ago. She said he would just let us in. She said, and I wanted to sketch everything. I wanted to make a sketch and
So you could plan out
make a plan out, and just so I could see it all in my head when I went home and as we were discussing, I knew
which
what
house was
house.
which. Yeah.
Yep. She said, and we were looking, she said, all over the state. I mean, Riverton, Du Bois, Gillette, and then they looked at a house. She goes, and your dad just opened the door and he just leaned on the counter in the kitchen and let me do my sketches. She said, and then we went to other places, and as soon as we went in, the agent was pushing, and this is why you should buy this house, and this is why you should buy that. And she said it was really off putting. So I think watching you do your open houses and Jody do her open houses, and that's you're just there and you're there to answer questions for people and
Yeah, and
provide
I
them
do point
information.
out things, but it's not like
It's not sales.
welcome to your best home. Like I see signs that are like, come on in and make an offer. And I'm like, that it feels like a used car salesman. Like, no.
I hate that
Me
feeling.
too.
So yeah, I mean, I think that's why your guys' open houses are effective.
Yeah, it's literally just an open house. It's not like come so I can sales you. Yeah.
Yeah, or try to sell you something other than
Yeah.
this
Or
house.
get your contact and hound you for the rest of forever. Like,
Yeah. Well, it's like we've talked about that, like the websites where you have to enter in the information, and I get it. It's lead generation and blah blah blah,
yeah.
but you can't see anything about the house till you enter in your information. I
Well, and
I
it's stupid
immediately
because then
click
they
on.
just go to Zillow.
Yes.
So whatever.
So
Yeah, interesting.
it's just but yeah, you guys had great luck, and I'm I'm a believer in open houses now. So
I'm glad I have transferred you.
yeah, it's just it's just really cool to see,
Yeah,
and for your clients and
yeah.
even the buyers, because I mean it's just
Well, and
just so
some
cool.
clients hate it or they don't want to. That's okay. Like,
Yeah.
I think too, marketing should not be a cookie cutter.
Uh-huh.
That's why I like being able to be my own self. Like each property and each situation is different, and we might market it a little different.
Yeah.
Sure, there's the things that you're always going to do, right? But then there might be like this one that I did, and it was like, we totally embraced the odd Smurf blue. And the seller was okay with that because she was like, "Yeah, I know. It's Smurf blue." And anyways, and like so the marketing can be a little bit different, and if you want open house or if it's a property that's a little bit more of a niche, then you need to market it a little more than just put it on the MLS, maybe it's something where you need to you've had commercial deals or even different deals where we need to market to people who are coming in from out of state or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I think that that's a big huge, you can't just say this is what we do for everybody. You can have that, but then you need to
You custom tailor it to
the
the individuals, just like you do anything else.
and that's what I think, like, why agents aren't ever gonna really go away, or because they need that. It's not just a cookie cutter. Or
Right.
sure, AI may give you some ideas, and I like AI and I use AI, but it can't do every little thing. It can't know the little things like
The
we
little
do the
quirks.
local.
Yeah.
So anyways, just interesting.
Well, and on that, like I sent you a text, I told you about that. California passed a law where realtors can't use AI images for marketing anymore because of it doesn't hold the integrity of the structure and all these things as you're doing it. So there are laws being passed that will limit some of that type of stuff. So that's just crazy to me. Even
Right.
different editing for photos because people were editing out, showing great
Too many
views,
things. Yeah.
but they were taking away the telephone poles actually there and trying to make it look better. And I've told people before, when I'm doing photos, if your tennis shoe's on the floor, I'll Photoshop out the tennis shoe. If there's a crack in the ceiling, that stays. But didn't even get to tell you when I went into the bank 2 weeks ago, week ago. Gal at the bank was just talking to me about how cool she loved your video,
Oh,
the Smurf Blue. She's like, that was so cool because you didn't see it till the end. She
Yeah.
said, I was like, that was all Brandi. That was her idea, and
that was fun.
that was a fun one.
I got a lot of feedback like that.
Yeah.
It was fun. And quite a few people wanted to see it. And anyways, I think that was,
Yeah, it worked.
yeah.
It's cool.
Yep.
And like you said, you approached that situation. How can we embrace
Yeah.
the blue?
Different. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
and,
cool.
yeah, that's a totally different thing. So that was fun.
Yeah.
Um,
So I have a question. I'm just going to throw this out to you,
okay.
throw you on the spot.
On the spot?
Yep, on the spot. So marketing is always just kind of, it is what it is. To me, marketing is when you're talking numbers, there's always a spin you can put on it.
Okay. Yeah.
So you can spin it, say, oh, it's slow, you need to do this, or oh, it's fast, you need to do this. How do you feel things are kind of going with real estate? Because there's talk, oh, it's no longer a seller's market. Now it's a buyer's market. Or now it's kind of an in-between type of thing. So is it truly one or the other? Or is it just, it is what it is?
Well, I definitely think it is what it is because what are you going to do about it? Like,
Right.
it is what it is. And like we've said, each property and each thing is individual, even if it is in that seller's time, maybe this property is not. No, I have to caveat this. I've only been a real estate agent since 21. So, I mean, I've paid attention my own self, but not necessarily here in Wyoming, although I shopped for a house. But I do think that there is buyers time, like times that it's better for buyers or harder for buyers and vice versa. But That doesn't mean that that should make your decision. I don't think at all.
Right.
Because depending on what it is, then we adjust and we can do things about that, I think.
Right.
Maybe to make your offers stronger or something like that. So as far as how the market is right now, I think like it's definitely in 21, 22, and a little bit into 23, but it started to it was a very much a seller's market. That's when we were getting, of course there were those homes that didn't get multiple offers and above listing, but there were a lot more that did. And I think that it's more even-ish now. I do think that there is opportunity to buy, but I don't think it's at the point where you can lowball people for the most part, depending on the property, and if they've just priced it too high. That's what I feel like. What do you think?
It's one of those, I just feel, again, it's more of an individual type of thing. You can take the numbers, you can spin the numbers and say this, you can say that, you can say this. But again, I feel it still kind of comes down to an individual type of thing. If it is a very nice home, if it is desirable, it has all the things that many people are looking for, then the offer's got to be good. I mean, but
Unless you don't really care if you don't get it, but you're hoping,
Yes.
then that's fine.
yeah. But again, then you're back to the individual situation.
Yeah.
So I watch and I see, because I'm friends with many agents, different companies, different offices, and they've all got a thing. And I'm like, well, I'm not doing that. Well, I don't feel like I'm saying that. But that's because I think I fall more into, it's just an individual deal. What's the price of the home? What's it going to be? Where is that put it in relative terms to other similar properties that are on the market? Is that going to be driving the factors? I mean, because you could take, honestly, if you could take anything and set a price, and depending on that price, it will sell. It will. But are you doing the best deal for your seller? And I hear the market terminology. You got to price it for the market. You've got to price it for the market, And I get that. I understand. But also, what if the seller is not in a hurry to sell? Why do I have to chase the market value for a quick sale? That's not in my seller's best interest. It only takes one.
Right.
It only takes one buyer. And again, it just kind of goes back to that individual situation.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I agree. I feel like it's a piece of the puzzle, but it's just a piece of the puzzle.
Yeah. And I think I see a lot of agents making it the
Multiple
piece.
pieces, or
It is
piece.
the piece of the puzzle.
And these little things go around it.
Yes. And if you're not getting this, and if you're not getting that, and if you're not having multiple showings in a week or multiple offers, then we have to do this. Is that in your buyer?
If your buyers are really wanting to sell quickly.
Yes.
It then has to, okay. That is why I think it's so important, A, to interview agents, and B, for us agents to ask, what are your goals?
Yep.
Like, because we could just be like, okay, we got it. But they're like, actually, I don't care if it's 6 or 8 months, maybe we've already moved or whatever, or maybe we'll move when we get there. We already have a situation. Maybe it is like, we have to go now, and I know that I could list this, or the house that we want, we've got under contract. I've got to get this sold.
Yep.
That's a whole different thing.
Yep.
And so again, I don't think you should have a cookie cutter marketing plan.
No.
Or a cookie cutter step by step. This is what we do.
Yeah. If this
it
isn't happening, then
doesn't,
we
then
got to
we
do
do
this.
Only if you.
That's great. I mean, it's just, there are so many different options. And I don't know, I have found it very very fun now that I, as an agent, got over that fear. Because I think that's a big thing. Oh, what if this buyer walks? Oh, what if this fall? I mean, that's a fear. You don't want to let your seller down. You don't. Well, what if it's your seller's best interest to let that buyer
Yeah.
walk away and find somebody else? My dad always said we were looking for a buyer when we found this one. But I've had very fun situations in sales where I'm representing a seller that's asking a price, and they do not care. If they get that price, they will sell.
Otherwise, they're not
Otherwise,
going to.
there is
Exactly.
no rush. They don't, and that's kind of a fun situation to be in when you're representing a seller like that. But like you said, it's just, I watch it and I just feel like there's a lot of noise around things that
You
aren't
have to do
real-
this.
Yes, that don't necessarily hold for every situation. So I just thought I'd ask your take on that.
I like it. Oh, what else was I going to say? Oh, I have a maintenance tip this week.
Aha.
With all of the power surges, have you been having tons of power surges here?
No, see, and that's really weird because I know other people have been commenting, and
All over Glen Rock, Rolling Hills, like it's been horrible. It had like since I've lived here, it happens often. But this year has been terrible.
this has been an exceptional year where there's a lot more happening. And then, I mean, because we're right next to the fairgrounds, and my friends were in a fifth wheel over in the
Okay.
fairgrounds, and I would see his post where they were out of power, but I
you were
wasn't.
fine.
And I was like, what? But I'm right next to. And I saw that happen
On and off.
on and off. But then last night, dealing with Brighton's car, he's got a battery issue and everything.
Okay.
And I was plugged in the charger, so I was like, oh, I'll charge your battery and get it full so then we can see what's going on with the car. And it wouldn't come on. I thought, what the hell did I do to my charger? And so then I followed the extension cord and I was like, oh, it came unplugged. And I pulled it. It was not unplugged. It was melted in the outlet on the outside of the house.
What? Why?
I have no idea.
So you can get it checked out.
Yeah, but maybe that's when the power
Yeah, it could be a surge, whatever. Because of course, during the holidays, our microwave
Oh shit.
went on the fritz. Like you would start it, and we haven't even had this microwave that long. I mean, it's been like a couple years, but you would start it, and it would be like zzz, zzz, like it was like something metal was in there, but it wasn't. And anyway, so that died. We've had multiple things like, and I am sure it has to do with the power like surges. And so my maintenance tip is they make whole because you can put a surge protector on each of, and especially with everything being, I couldn't find a non-smart refrigerator that was bigger than just a little,
Oh, right. Yeah.
which I actually love now because I do have my like family's calendar on there and stuff. But I'm like, we have to have a computer in our fridge now, and they're expensive. I don't have a surge protector on every one of my appliances. We've replaced the dishwasher, we've replaced the microwave, and so I was like searching. They have whole home surge protectors, and then there's even it's more expensive, and you have to have an electrician do it, but you can do something at the meter that can also help keep it even. So like it's sort of like a surge protector, but a little different.
So how does the whole home one work?
I don't know entirely. I gotta talk to and buy one, but I looked it up, and that's what I'm gonna,
Well, and that's right.
I'm gonna talk because I might actually do that one where it. So I want to talk to an electrician
Yeah.
to see what they recommend.
Well, yeah, because like you said, everything is electronic now. Your refrigerator, there's a board in your dishwasher, there's the ovens,
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
So,
Washer and dryers.
and I told somebody I said, when did everything start to cost $1,000? Everything costs $1,000 or more. A dishwasher.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking 6, 7. You walk into Home Depot, Best Buy, you're looking at $600-700 price tags. I was like, I just want one that spins water and washes the
I
dishes.
know. I know.
Why is that over $500?
We did end up getting I am glad that we did the microwave though, because it was pretty inexpensive. I think it was like it was less than, it's still $300, I
Yeah.
guess. So it was like $250 or something, which is crazy. But there are microwaves that are $1,000.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand.
Washers and dryers.
That was a cheap one. Yeah, I know. It's so crazy.
I'm like, what?
We did get one. Now this time we took out our vent hood and put the microwave that has the
Oh, the vent underneath
yeah.
it. That's what I don't
And so
have.
it's not on the counter. I'm so happy.
See, and I should do that at my house too. But we got the glass cooktop
Uh-huh.
and nothing above it. Absolutely nothing.
Okay.
So everything just kind of goes up. And Candace had bought, and a friend of mine had made this, painted it copper, made it nice, with the lights and everything for a hood for over the. But it's one of those. Candace always does this. Makes me laugh because she tries so hard. She puts so much, but she doesn't. There's always something. She misses something. Just a little
So
bit.
it's not quite finished or
yeah.
quite ready or.
So she had it. She had all of the measurements and everything, and she had sent it to him, and he had fabbed everything to make it. But the ceiling, where the wall stops, is angled up. It's not flat across, and he made it flat across. So if we put it there, it's gonna
have
be a
this
gap.
weird-
So
That sucks.
that's at some point in life we'll fix something. But
Yeah.
yeah, the surge protector, and like I said, I don't know if that's what caused my extension cord to melt in the outlet
Yeah.
because I haven't checked that. I was running Loki's tank heater off that extension cord, but it's been so warm,
Yeah.
so I don't know when it happened.
Well, you better get that checked out.
Yeah, I was like, that's fantastic.
It's no bueno.
No.
So get your surge protectors,
Surge
whether it's
protectors.
a whole home or because it kills your electronics. I'm about over it.
Well, it used to be you only worried about your computer.
Yeah.
You
I
know.
have a laptop. That was the only thing I wasn't worried about. I wasn't plugged in. Anyways. So the other things, what's going on recently, I went to the meeting here at the library for the pronghorn.
Yes, tell me about that because I saw your post.
Yeah, so it was really interesting, and I thought it was going pretty well. The State Land Investment Board, who approved it in the first place, they were finally having a meeting, and it was a special meeting. If you haven't been following it, like, go down the rabbit hole. But anyways, so it was a special meeting to hear the communities, because a local rancher, Mike Stevens, hired an attorney to stop it because it was like infringing on his rights, whatever, how they went about it. And that's a really interesting case. But anyway, so the judge here ruled that it was not allowable based on the the State Land Board's investment, their own things. Anyways, their own rules. Like, it went
So it
against it
violated
because
the
it wasn't in going into the grid or something like that. So it violated that. So, but the Attorney General decided to appeal it to the Supreme Court, and they were saying in that meeting that they're appealing it to the Supreme Court, not necessarily for this project, but because they want the Supreme Court to rule on whether, because it said including XYZ, but it didn't. And so what they approved was W. So they want a ruling whether including XYZ means including but not limited to,
Right.
or only including XYZ. Okay. So that's why their reasoning is for going to the Supreme Court. And Chuck Gray said, But if you don't go to the Supreme Court with it, so now you're leaving up a lot of things because there's lots of laws in our books that say including
Mm-hmm.
or including and not limited to, or not including or whatever. So you're leaving it up to the Supreme Court on this to interpret because then it will be a precedent. Then if they rule, then they can use it in other cases to say, oh, this means this. Anyways, so that was a very interesting part of that. But Chuck Gray said, if you don't take it to the Supreme Court, then there's not a ruling. And then you guys can decide in the laws, like, do we decide
Decide and discuss
that
it in the
including
laws.
means just including, and including but not limited to, it means including but not limited to. The law is the law.
Yeah.
Anyways. So it was nice to hear and like kind of understand that, I believe. And then lots of ranchers and not ranchers and the community and different boards. It was very interesting. It's on YouTube. You can watch it and just hear the different parts of why, and that money goes to education. And so then if you don't allow these leases, blah blah blah. So it was a good conversation, and I think people just need to listen and be aware and stuff like that. So then they were going to vote to take that lease away, but it was a special meeting, and it wasn't there was no notice that their motions were going to be introduced or whatever. So that's what the big fight was about. Was Chuck Gray wanted to motion to do that. Their attorneys were like, but this is a special meeting and you can't, like in a regular meeting, then you can do any motion or whatever. But in a special meeting, if it's called, according to the laws and blah, blah, blah. So
It's very interesting, and I think people really need to get involved, and they really need to do the research to find out what's actually happening.
yeah, I agree. Don't just read what the newspaper said, because then I read some articles and I was like, that was not my interpretation.
Right.
That's not my viewpoint. I disagree that is. The other thing that I thought was really interesting that I think affects our local people even more is then the Converse County commissioners came out, and they've said this before. Some people seem like surprised, but again, I think sometimes you're just not like either remembering or nobody sees what all the county commissioners say, whatever. But they got a proposal. They haven't actually had a real, what did they call it? Anyways, that they could approve or disapprove yet.
Yeah.
So they're like, don't be mad at us that we haven't like struck this down yet because we haven't even had the actual application. But also, if we don't have a reason to decline the application, so they're kind of talking about like there's no zoning against this type of thing coming in. And I think with the data centers and the AI centers and those kinds and nuclear energy and stuff like that, more and more people are trying to come to Wyoming because we've got some great freedoms.
There's less restrictions.
There is less restrictions. But our community needs to also be involved in like, do we want that many restrictions or so I want to go to the next county commissioner and get a little bit of clarification, kind of like, okay, where do you see this going? Because I love, like, people live in the county and they like their individual property rights. They like to do whatever they want on their land.
Yeah.
But is it different if it's a huge corporation?
Right. Well, and I read that too. It's, there is no zoning, but because of that, we have no reason to strike something down because there's nothing to say no, other than just a bunch of people saying, oh, I don't like this.
We don't like it. Which I don't understand why you can't just do that.
Well, it seems like it's very hard to understand that there is not a lot of common sense, is my take. Because you posted the bill, the House bill, about stalking minors. And all I did was simply share it. But so many people are like, why is this not a
Already a
thing?
thing.
Yeah. Why do we have to vote on this? Why aren't minors being protected? Because there is no law on it.
Right. And there is, but it's basically the same as getting a ticket. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So you think about it and it's like, yeah, that should absolutely be a thing. But because nobody has said, let's make it a thing, it should be, it's not a thing.
Yeah.
Nobody has
And
done the
certain people
steps.
are stuck in only the powers that we give them, which
Yeah.
is great. And also, it's a two-edged thing.
Yeah. It's everybody's you just have to get more and more involved because decisions are being made that will affect you, will affect your
Yeah.
kids, your family, and if you're not involved in that discussion,
And
it's got to be done.
speaking about real estate, this session they're talking more about doing more things with property taxes and zoning. Like you really got to pay attention.
Yeah.
The grooming bill is the other bill, which is House Bill 9 that I've been really working on. And it is something very similar in the current law that's like sexual exploitation of a minor, because of how it's written. The things that a groomer does and says, it hasn't crossed the line yet. But it's absolutely inappropriate. It is absolutely, you shouldn't, but because they're not actually making them do the act or see the act yet, then it's
It
not.
doesn't, yeah, then it's not, quote, over the line.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and I just think a lot of people, it's one of those things. You sit back, you're busy, you've got your own lives, blah, 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 blah. But then all of a sudden something happens and now you're a part of it. And you're like, wait, why is this? Why is this so hard? Why isn't there a protection here? Why isn't this happening? Or how is somebody allowed to do this? We got to go talk to county commissioners. Da, da, da. Well, the problem is that bill was passed and all of those conversations were had 12, 18 months ago.
Yeah.
It's not a
quick thing.
It's not a quick thing.
But at the same time, that is a good thing in a way because anybody could get anything passed all willy-nilly and just, so in a way it's good that you have to really want a bill to pass. Like that charter school one that we were working on years ago, like I think in 21, because they were only allowing one. Well, first they weren't allowing any, and then they finally got one approved, but it was only one. And they finally just this past, so 25.
Yeah.
They finally, got it.
Well, and it's if you're not paying attention and you don't know what's going on, it even comes down to HOAs. If you're not going to the HOA meetings and you don't know what's being done or being passed, then all of a sudden, oh wait, I can't build a shop. But all of these others, well, yeah, but those were built. Those were built before we passed this. Well, I didn't want it. Well, you didn't come to the meeting.
Yeah.
I mean, so it really you have to really pay attention to what's happening.
In a way, I think you need to stop paying attention to so much of what the rest of the world and even the country and really your local stuff is more important because it affects you on an everyday basis. Not saying that the federal either, but the way that social media is and news is we see so much more in the whole country, and so we are kind of more involved in that, I feel like, than the local little newspaper, town school board meeting.
I had somebody with an HOA. They wanted to, during the oil boom, we were going to sell their property. Like, hey, an oil company's going to buy this. I'm like, no, your HOA says you can't. And they're like, what? I said, your HOA says you can't do that. You can't run a business here. Well, then let's get rid of that. I'm like, okay, well, you need 100% vote, and the vote only comes up once every 25 years.
Oh my God.
So the vote is going to come up next year, which
So you got to be making friends with all these people.
all of the people to get this abolished now, and I was pissed because I'm trying to help my clients.
Yeah.
And I was bitching about it. I said, what dumbass lawyer wrote this? And my dad looked at me and goes, I did. And I was like, what?
He was
You're the
protecting
reason? He's
the residential property rights.
the rancher when he broke it up.
Yeah.
He didn't want people to move
To just be a
in
development.
and he wanted to protect the individual, and it was a home. It wasn't supposed to be a business area. And that's what he wanted. Well, he got it. But then same people, I mean, time is always a different perspective. 6, 7 years later, called and said, hey, somebody's trying to do this. What was that thing with the HOA? And I sent them the copy, and they're like, thanks. Because it
slide
helped.
this under their door.
So, but yeah, you got to just get involved locally and know what's
Yeah.
going on. All the budget issues, with UW right now, cutting $40 million from the UW budget. And
But
it's just,
but listen, that's why I think Wyoming, I love it in Wyoming because you can go, all of this stuff is now it might be changing because they're taking away money from the public, like PBS or whatever. And they're the ones who actually run the video and audio and everything for the Senate and all the meetings and all of that. So, and
Whether
they've
or
done
not-
that as a public service because they're also, but now if we're cutting, anyways, that's a whole nother rabbit hole. And I learned that because I was at a meeting for this other thing and heard these things. But anyways, they, so they're cutting that. But in Wyoming, you can see all of these meetings on YouTube. Even the interim ones that I've gone to in Torrington, in Casper, in Cheyenne, you can see them. You can hear what the
what is actually
what the senators are being said. So last year when my son's stalker and groomer thing happened and we started talking about it publicly, somebody mentioned, and it hadn't been on my radar, but there was a grooming bill in last year's, but it didn't get passed, and I was like, wait, what? Why?
Yeah.
So I was able to go back and find each one that it was discussed in, because you can look up on the
Right.
legislative website, and go back and listen and see what people were concerned about. And some people were like so upset, but then the one person, Senator Nethercott was like, same thing about the law. We got to do it legally, because if we do it because we're passing it and it feels good, but then it gets overturned, then we let more people out by a loophole or whatever. And so there was some, anyways, so it's just really cool. In Wyoming, it's really easy. It's not, at least when I lived in Utah, it wasn't as easy. You had to go to the dang Capitol.
You had to sit there and be there to watch it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know if it was like that before COVID or not, but I think it's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, if you want the information, you can get it, but you got to want it. You got to go get it.
And I 100% fully understand you cannot be involved in everything or be paying attention to everything because you only have so much capacity.
Yeah, there's only so much bandwidth, especially if you've got
Yeah. But if
work
you could
and
just touch
jobs.
base and be like, hey, what's happening here? Or, pay attention on Facebook land or something. Somebody will be upset about it or something, maybe.
That's very true. Yes, there's always comments. You can always check the comments.
Yeah.
But
And then dig in and see. So that's my rant, I guess.
it's your other maintenance tip. To be involved because it affects
Pay
you.
attention.
It affects you, affects
happening
your
with
family.
property rights and
Yep, everything.
yep. So there's that.
Yeah.
One other little thing, Grandma's house in Glenrock is closing, and so they're doing a closeout, and she's been a big support to the community. So check on their Facebook page. She's saying when she's going to be there, she wants to liquidate the inventory because sale didn't go through.
Right.
So, anyways, just wanted to throw that out there for our
Yeah, for sure.
community. It's right on the main street of Glenrock.
Glenrock, right there. Yeah. right there at the corner, across from the bank and everything, right there,
Yep.
across from the diner.
The old, yep.
Yep.
So there
Cool.
you go.
Well, what have we got going real estate
yeah.
wise in Converse County? 51 active, 15 pending, and 2 sold so far this month, but it's only the 12th.
Yeah. And usually takes some time. So
Well, and it's whether or not people were
wanted to
buying
close,
in
right.
Christmas,
Yeah, exactly.
looking at Christmas time.
A
And
lot of people don't exactly want to close. Although I closed on January. Well, it was in the middle of January.
yeah, I've had some close. Well, I had to, a big one. It was a commercial property, so tax wise,
Oh, yep.
had to be done by the 31st of December. And I mean,
Did
it
you
was
close it on 30th?
it was on the 31st at like
Oh, they
4
were
o'clock.
in the
Yeah, it was like the last possible.
closing of the day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it happens.
It does happen.
So if you're thinking or wondering if now's a good time, definitely reach out to us. We're more than happy to come and visit with you, walk the property.
It's car salesman.
No car
Pressure.
salesman tactics, just information. Because it's not my toy, it's not ours. It's your property to do with what you want to do. We're just supposed to, it's our job to help you.
Yeah.
So, thanks.
See ya.
Okay. Cool. And then Trona County.
All right.
Your turn.